Small thing before we start the video: if you enjoy kit reviews and you want to see more of these types of reviews, if you'd like to give me a thumbs up on the video, that always helps. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because over the next couple of months I'm going to be looking at some other Revolution Race and Fjallraven kit. The Revolution Race Wonder Pro jacket and also Fjallraven Keb jacket. So I've just recently, about 3 months ago, got hold of a Keb jacket, very similar. I just want to compare the two because I think they're very closely matched, but I'll give you my thoughts on it based upon my experience, and just give you my thoughts on whether I would is the price difference between the Keb and the Revolution Race really justified. I think the when I bought the Wonder Pro jacket, that came at 119, and at full price a Keb jacket, I know you can get them discounted, but generally you're going to be paying up to £200, up to, I've seen them £240 for the same jacket, a Keb jacket, depending on the availability. So I just want to give you my thoughts on how evenly matched the two jackets are in terms of their quality, its versatility. It's just sort of, I guess, build quality is the big thing, and then the material they use. Now, before we start the video, I just want to remind everyone that I am not endorsed in any way, shape or form by Revolution Race or Fjallraven, and I'm going to apologise for my pronunciation straight away, so let's get that out of the way. So not endorsed in any way, shape or form. This is my hard-earned cash, and I just like to share my thoughts on these products, because I think they're an obvious market sector around bushcrafting and hiking, and really, because of the price difference, I was interested to sort of review both items to see if there really was that much point of difference between Fjallraven and Revolution Race. So that'll be hopefully it'll be useful for you spend your own hard-earned money. I just want to get that out before I start the video. Is I am not endorsed any way, shape or form by Fjallraven or Revolution Race. Okay guys, on with the video. So first up is the Keb jacket from Fjallraven. Now the first thing to note about this particular jacket, and the point of difference between this and the Revolution Race jacket, is that on the Keb there are no side pockets here. Now the idea behind that is when you're hiking and you've got your rucksack on the back, you want to put your rucksack belt round here, the waist, there's no restrictions. So to sort of counterpart that, they've got two, and you'll see in other videos on the Keb, it's been around quite a while now, hasn't it? But you've got two very big long Napoleon pockets here and here, as you can see. You've got the construction of this jacket is very much, as you can see, dominated by the G1000, this harder wearing poly cotton mix, which is infamous for Fjallraven's gear, and I know that a lot of people absolutely love it. It's mixed with this kind of four-way stretch here, and here on the back you can just see, so you can see the design, the way the panels are split up, and at the bottom here under your bum, the G1000's there, so you want to sit on a log or something, you know, it's going to give you some protection. Now I'll compare the material on the Revolution Race Wonder Pro jacket is very similar, but in terms of the Keb, this isn't a winter jacket. This is not going to keep you warm in the winter. This is very simple in construction. There's no inner side in terms of, you know, another layer, and so this is generally designed to be worn as an outer shell. And as with all Fjallraven G1000 material, you can wax this. Now I don't particularly do it. I'm going to just put some DWR on it, a lot easier, but I know that people who use this probably up in the mountains, they will wax it, and you can wax these panels here, the G1000s, and on the back. Now one thing to note about the Keb is you've also got this humongous hat, sort of a hood on it, which is wired, and I guess it's designed for being in high winds and to keep the wind off you. Now all the reviews I've seen will show you the hood. You can see that at the side, and I think it would probably go over a climbing helmet, but this front part here, and as you can see, the wire is very rigid, so you can, you know, push it into place around your face to give you the ultimate protection. Now the other thing about Fjallraven's gear is, look, the finish on it is just second to none. You've got these little leather tags, which they are great if you've got gloves on in the winter, and I guess you're up in the mountains, you know, you just want to you know, easily button down the zip, open and close the zip. And the other thing is, of course, a lot of this stuff is worn for bushcrafting in conditions like this, where you're, you know, using fire and things. Now, I wouldn't want to get too close with this front panel, this stretch material. I'm sure that wouldn't last too long, but the G1000 is pretty robust. And I suppose if you're comparing it with the polycotton mix from Revolution Racers jacket, and I'll put that on in a minute, is I'd say there's a fraction thickness in this. You can just tell there's a slightly thicker, but it's not that noticeable. So today I've got a pair of Vida Pros on, and I've also got with me my Wonder Pro trousers as well. And I'll be honest with you, on a day-to-day basis, I prefer wearing the Revolution race gear, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But in terms of, you've got the usual items on here. Now you've got a little side pocket, which is always handy to put your credit cards in and things, and it's just finished there nice with the Arctic Fox, which looks really nice, doesn't it? Just back to the hood, I personally think it's just far too big. I mean, I wouldn't, when would you normally put that up? And you know, you can sort of fold the brim of the hood back so it's not quite as long and outwards, but I just think it personally, for me, it lacks, yeah, keep the wind off your face, but it's just over designed. I don't know, over engineered, not engineered, is it? Over designed. I mean, yeah, great, it goes all the way up, and you've got a good storm flap there around your neck. And of course, with but personally for me, I would never use that hood because it is just far too big, and I just think it's over designed personally. Tell me what you think. You might absolutely love the hood on the Keb jacket, I don't know, let me know. But here you've got the studs on the Fjallraven gear, and it just works like a dream. You've got these toggles here which you can cinch the hood in when you've got it on. As I said, there's a wire in the frame so you can put it around your head, and I just think it looks a really nice jacket, this, doesn't it? And of course, as with all the videos that talk about the Keb, you've got these side vents here, so I'll just show you that. As with on this jacket, you've got the side vents here, so you've got ventilation, which I've got a black shirt on so you can't see, but there's no meshing in there. But the idea behind that is when you've got like a mid layer on and with pockets in, if you want to keep the wind and rain off your hand, you can go through this side vents and put them in your pockets inside your mid layer, really. But so as I say, it really is, and again, this storm flap on the front, it's just nicely done. You've got studs here, so I'll just get back so you can see me there, but you've got the storm flap goes all the way along, and again these leather toggles on the pockets openers. So in terms of its design and finish, the Keb is, I think, just slightly more superior, as you would probably expect in terms of the price difference. But I'll sum up my thoughts on the two coats, and so what I'm going to do now, I'll just take it off and I'll just show you. So the fit on this coat, as you can see, this is a medium. I'm a 34 waist, I think I'm about 5'7", not particularly tall, and it's a medium. Now, I think Fjallraven gear does come in quite large. You can see this, it's pulled down, gives you a nice long lot of cover here, so you keep the wind off your backside, and it's, you know, it's nicely, you know, it's a nice length along your sort of your middle core. But you can obviously, with this, you can see the bottom's cinched, you can bring it up a bit and it looks a bit more sort of fitted. But you know, in terms of the way it looks, just a great coat, and it looks the business, isn't it? You know, I think that's the thing about Fjallraven gear, it looks the business, it looks like it's built for the job. I think the thing to remember with all G1000 gear is it is not waterproof, it's water resistant. I've watched so many videos on it where people, you know, I think there's a mentality where if you can wax it, it's going to be this super water resistant material. It's highly water resistant, I think, the wax on, but without it, it certainly isn't. But, you know, for around the woods, I think this is just a really durable piece of kit. So something to think about when you're buying for Fjallraven Gear G1000. I know recently they've brought out some some of their hard shells now, their top end stuff, because obviously they've seen a gap in the market, and the brand is a very strong brand, so they've brought that out. But you're talking probably 400 or 500 quid for a hard shell, so it's just a lot of money. Anyway, back to the Keb, so you can see it. There you go. And duck's really smart, duck's the business. I've worn this for, I work in the city in the week, during the week, so I've worn this in town. Didn't look too much out of place, and you know, it's a nice bit of kit, isn't it? So if I was to get one again, I'd probably get it in black. But anyway, enough about the Keb. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to go and the Wonder Pro on now from Revolution Race, and just show you the same sort of features and how it fares against the Keb. So on this, you've got some pretty decent Velcro, which keeps the end of your sleeves. If you want to sort of keep the warmth in, you can cinch it down, and that's really good, and that's sort of built to last. That Velcro sort of top end stuff, as you'd expect. So another key feature. Now, as I said before, I'll just show you the inside of the jacket. There's no insulation in there. This is, you know, be mindful when you buy this jacket or looking at the Keb jacket. As with the trousers, you've got this four-way stretch material here, which is highly ventilated, mixed with the G1000 there, as you can see. Nice little emblem there, the Swedish flag, which looks pretty neat, and it just oozes quality. I think that's the thing. The zips, you've got a double zip which enables you, if you've got a backpack on, to open from the bottom and from the top. I'll show you that in a minute. And then, of course, as with all Fjallraven gear, look, you've got all the quality there, the finishing, and it's just a really nice jacket. Even there, you've got where the cinching holes there, attention to detail. You've got the sort of eyelets, I think you'd call it, wouldn't you? And they're like a metal brass. I call it brass, probably not brass, but that sort of brass effect. It just, the attention to detail on this jacket is something else. So you can see on the bottom, the waist of the coat, you can got cinching mechanism, which on both sides here and here. So you want to bring the coat in a little bit, you can do that. So, you know, I use this because it's quite a large coat, just to cinch it up a bit, depending on what layers they've got underneath, I guess, really, to see how much room. Now, this is the good thing about this coat, because of the size of it and the way that it's designed, is you can get a lot of layers underneath it because of the room inside. So I said this is a medium. I'm a 34 waist, and this fits me, you know, quite nicely. I wouldn't want anything bigger than this, but I suppose you could probably get away with a small in my size. But I like it because I will wear this in the winter when it's a kind of a dry, windy day, but I'll wear some fleeces underneath, so you know, I'm not struggling to put the coat on as well. But just love it, absolutely fabulous. And I just want to show you the zip from the bottom, and there you go. There you go. You can, so you want to ventilate, or you're wearing your, I suppose, a bit like a belay jacket, I guess. You can do it a double zip up and down. So the idea is it just gives you that flexibility, so you can use it in all types of conditions. All right, okay. So we'll just take this off, and we'll just take this off, zip that down, then back down to the bottom, and at the bottom you've got the little stud to stop it opening and, I guess, riding up. And then the same here, you've got the same here at the top. So I think for design and quality, the Fjallraven jacket has the edge. But I'm going to go and put the Wonder Pro on now, and I'll show you that coat and see how that fits as well. As you can see, put on the Wonder Pro jacket from Revolution Race, and straight away you can see, so it's a similar sort of cut, and there's a similar design. You've got the two Napoleon pockets here. And the one thing I do like about the Revolution Race coat is this, I think I put on my previous video, is this hand warmer pockets material. It's just lovely and warm against your hands, and on both pockets here. And also you've got the same. Now the addition here on the Wonder Pro jacket is you've got these pockets here, and you've got the cinching mechanism as you do on the Kebs either side. So a very, very similar jacket. Now you can almost see the similarities. It's a very similar design to the Keb in terms of its purpose, what you would use it for. Now I can just give you, I'll do a 360 to show you the design. So as you can see on the back, you've got those two panels, you've got the four-way stretch material, and of course this polycotton mix, very similar to the G1000. As I said, the G1000 is just a slightly thicker material, but in terms of, you know, its feel and the quality of the material, I think this is probably just as durable. It really is. I've had this now for probably about 9 months, and I've used this out in the woods. I love, you know, this coat. I think about this particular jacket, slightly more fitted maybe, a more fitted cut on this jacket than the Keb. That might be just on the size. This again is a medium, so this fits me quite nicely. I know cinch this up, and one thing I do like here is you've got this little pocket here, put your credit cards in, and again got the hand warming material inside. So it's just, that's nice attention to detail from Revolution Race. The Fjallraven doesn't have that. Now, again, you've got the sign, the Revolution Race branding there, which I like. And I think I like, you know, the design of this jacket on the back, on the shoulders there, very similar to the Keb in terms of the mix. But again, it works well. The black on the Keb, you've got sort of a lighter colour with the green. So, but I do know that you can get different colour combinations in the Keb as well. So there's probably one very similar to this. This colour, which is a sort of a brown colour, it's called Mud, appropriately enough. And this again, I think in this particular jacket, Revolution Race do black, and they do like an autumn rust colour, which is a nice jacket as well. So the difference really here, you've got the Velcro, again, that seems to have lasted up pretty well, so great. You've got the cinching mechanism as you do on the Keb, so very, very, very similar jacket really in design. And if you look here, I'll put the hood over. So the Revolution Race has got a slight wire in it. It's not quite as rigid as the one that's on the Keb. But to be honest with you, so you can hunker down in that just as well as you can with the Keb. And of course, you still haven't got that humongous front part of you got on the Keb. So I prefer the way this looks, and the hood on it as well. So I think I said on my previous review of this jacket, I tend to wear a hat anyway, and in the, well, like a hiking hat in the summer that I've got now with mesh on the back to let them ventilate, but in the winter I wear a beanie anyway. So hoods to me are obviously, they have a purpose, and if you're in a really windy condition, they'll keep it off your face. Again, like hail and rain and things, it'll just keep you from getting stung in the face. But I would say, for me, you know, I think the hood on the Keb is pretty unnecessary. You may have different opinions. I think it's, for me, design over practicality. It's just far too big, and I wouldn't generally use it. Now, in terms of the inside of this jacket, similar, one layer, no insulation, so it's not a winter jacket you wear. This is designed as an outer layer to be worn in the winter on, as I said, water resistant. So there you go. Now, the one thing that lets Revolution Race down, when I got this, and this hasn't caused a problem, you can see here some of the finishing, the stitching isn't snipped off. Now, as I said, and when I first got this, there were a couple of similar type of issues as well, but like I said, hasn't really caused a problem. The jacket hasn't come apart, the seams, you know, well, stitching really good. You've got, I think, double stitching all over this jacket there, and you've got it here in between the four-way stretch. So again, and the seams, you know, really it's really manufactured well in terms of the way it's constructed. So the only thing I'd say is, and I've said this on my previous video, Revolution Race, please get your quality control sorted in terms of when the finish on these jackets, attention to detail is absolutely everything. And when you get a jacket from Revolution Race through the post and then it arrives and you've got stitching which is not cut off, it just gives you that wrong image perception of the product, which is unfair really, because this jacket is stood up and I absolutely love it. So the only thing to note as well, which I wanted to just mention, talked about the Napoleon pockets on the front. I'll just get back so you can see me a bit more. Inside here, 2 bellows pockets as well, where you can drop your keys. Again, hand warming material, spot on. And again on this side as well. So I'm just going to check on the Keb and see if that's got the same feature. So on the Keb, it doesn't have those inside pockets, which again is a point of difference. You've got pockets on the side here with the Wonder Pro, and you've got these bellow pockets, these drop pockets here, which you don't have on the Keb model of that jacket. I know on Fjallraven Keb, I think it is, they do have like an inside bellows pockets as well, something that Fjallraven do. But for some reason on that particular Keb, I'm just going to check. On the Keb, you can see no inside pocket. So you've got the Napoleon jacket pockets on the front, but not on the side. So why they designed it like that, I don't know. But it doesn't detract from the coat too much. So overall, let's sum up. Hope you enjoyed that tour of the Keb and the Wonder Pro and a bit of a comparison. For me, they're very, very similar matched jackets. And I think really what it boils down to is, so if I was to pay £240 again for the Keb, would I choose the Keb over the Wonder Pro? And I've got to say, I think on this occasion, Revolution Race have won the day. But I have to say one thing, and I've said this earlier on in the part of the video, is Revolution Race, you've got to get your quality assurance, your finishing sorted, because a jacket, no matter if it's £100 or £50 or whatever you're going to pay for it, or £250, when it arrives to the customer, those finishing has got to be better. So I don't know where you manufacture these in, I think the last time it was Bangladesh. You've really got to go on top of your quality control. So that's the only thing. I love Revolution Race gear, and I think really Fjallraven is, there's that perception, it's the brand image, isn't it? Of course, Revolution Race has only been around 6 years. They've been incredibly successful on Instagram, and I know they have some really good deals. And I've got to say, really, you know, comparing Fjallraven, I've got Vita Pros on today, but I'll be honest with you, I prefer my Wonder Pro trousers. I like the cut on them, and I like the feel of them, and they just wear, for everyday wear around the house, they just feel a nicer trouser. I think the G1000 can feel a little bit heavy. Interestingly enough, I see that Fjallraven have just brought out the Agile Keb, which is a tapered design, which is very similar to the way that a lot of Revolution Race trousers have looked and felt over the last few years. So interesting there. Revolution Race, are you leading the way, and Fjallraven you're following? So it'll be interesting to see, as I said before, I think on my video a couple of years ago where I did the review of some Fjallraven gear and all the Vita Pros against Fjallraven pants. Be interesting to see how this market sector plays out. But where Fjallraven have the upper hand is their quality control. The design and construct of the jacket, you know, the finish of the eyelets, I showed you the brass, the buttons are right, the Velcro's thicker, it's just slightly finished off better. Revolution Race, I'm sure you'll get there, but in terms of, so the decision is, would I go and pay £240 for another Keb? No, I wouldn't. I'd go and get another Revolution Race Wonder Pro for the same coat, side by side as a comparison. In terms of putting brand snobbery to one side, because I think there's a lot of that in the outdoor gear world. You know, you're paying a lot of times. I'm happy to pay for a high-end jacket if it's justified in what it can do. And I'll be honest with you, between the two of these jackets, the Wonder Pro from Revolution Race, for me, in my opinion, based on my experience, has won the day. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. As I said before, if you like the videos, like these reviews, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It all helps grow the channel. And give me a like. And don't forget to comment in the comments below and just let me know what you think of the review. All the best. I'll see you very soon. It's Mark from Mark's Gone Walking. Take care.